Let's turn to our last topic, which I was especially disturbed by, Steve, when you sent it to me. Mind reading machines are here, so is it time to worry? The story about a study that used brain scans and AI to decode imagined speech. That was tested, and obviously it wasn't 100% accurate, and they were still making mistakes or whatever. But it was doing it with some disturbing level of accuracy, which you could then see in future generations of the technology. Maybe it can be perfected, and obviously this leads to the idea of mental privacy, and if someone can just scan you with a device and know exactly what you're thinking, that'll be that. I can't even imagine what the world would turn into if that became a reality.
Well, I can tell you what the world will turn into, Ben. It was in a 1960s sitcom, Gilligan's Island. If you ever watch the episode, and it must be on YouTube somewhere, where they discover the mind reading berries. That's 30 minutes of the best comedy I've ever seen. Although I think in a real world situation, it'd be absolutely horrific. If mental privacy, you realize is pretty important because at the moment, I think, especially in the current environment, we certainly understand that we're not allowed to say certain things anymore and we just keep them on the inside. But if you can't even keep them on the inside, then some of us are in for a world of pain.
Absolutely. This story kind of feeds into a growing trend of I guess, concern and warning that's now developing in the discourse around AI and the development of things like Chat GPT and whatever. We've talked about Chat GPT before. If a technology arrives that can write things for you, or can compose music for you, or can do all of these things that have traditionally been sitting in the human space, something that technology can't replicate. There is a disturbing kind of element to what the implications of that are, and this is like an extension of it, because you would effectively have a new level of political interaction. And when I say political, I mean the kind of day-to-day political interaction you have with others, where you might be presenting yourself in a particular way because you feel it's advantageous to you, even though it's different to what you're thinking, and to have to apply that to what you're thinking as well. I don't know if the human brain can actually cope with that, given all of our socialization that we've done over so many thousands of years up until this point.
Oh, yeah, look, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is potential for AI to be disruptive and potentially in a negative way because it becomes more and more difficult to, find a balance. I mean, if you move to an environment where AI can predict what you're thinking or accurately represent what your thoughts might be, and then use them through another AI mode to influence you to purchase something or to undertake an action. And we know humans subconsciously and through subliminal messaging will take these cues and will act on them. Then you get AI controlling humans in a way that we've yet to explore. We've always thought of the Skynet prophecy where AI just takes over, but in actual fact, what we could end up with is AI just suggesting to us what we're doing, and then we just all wander around with the same thoughts, doing the same things in the same way, which would be equally catastrophic for humanity. So it's a very interesting area. We're certainly seeing the power of AI rise much more quickly than people predicted. The fact that this AI system is reading blood flows to areas. We know how thoughts and memories are formed in the brain. We don't really understand how and why they happen, but we do understand the areas and some of the basic recognition of these systems. And if AI is able to read these and predict, then yeah, all I can say is that if there's anybody who'd be horrified if all the contents of their mobile phone was exposed to the whole world, or to their mum, if you want a nice analogy there, then this would be something
Well, it's next level, isn't it?
I'd be very wary of.
It's absolutely next level, isn't it? And I just wanted to pick up that sort of Skynet point, or even like the idea of Big Brother or whatever. Like, people might think that it's like it automatically leads to an authoritarian type scenario. It could just be like, like the AI leading the humans, leading the AI, leading the humans, to which would create a bizarre sort of setup of interactions, and it could just be chaos, or a lot more level of chaos than what you might think. Like, particularly if you do have pockets that can rebel against it or whatever, and that's. And I don't think it's something that we can actually imagine. It's not something, I don't think, that, for instance, science fiction's been able to imagine up until this point. So, but when you try to think about it, it just doesn't sound good at all.
No, it doesn't. And I think while it doesn't sound good, that doesn't mean it's bad. But I think the fact that it doesn't sound good shows us a very high risk area, which deserves some deep thought and some clever thinking. And I don't know where that's going to come from, because we don't traditionally see governments able to respond to advanced technologies like this until it's far too late. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, not to mention that in the social media age, a lot of us are not really able to do much deep thinking anymore, and also with the amount of distractions that are going on, because we're slowly, it would seem, getting rewired for short attention span, focus and thinking, which is completely inadequate for dealing with something like this.